Hello students, welcome to Notebook. Remember the time your teachers chose one of your friends as the class monitor? Did the new monitor's friendship with you all remain the same, or did it change? When your friend becomes the monitor, you recognize him or her as the trusted or chosen one of the teacher. You understand that he or she may now have some power over you. So your relationship with him or her changes in one way or the other. Such feelings of jealousy or insecurity are part of human nature. The landlords or warrior chiefs of the 7th century must have made their group feel the same way about them. The kings or overlords in the 7th century appointed the landlords and the army chiefs as their subordinates, juniors or samantas. The samantas also thanked the kings for their favors with gifts. They helped their overlords fight wars with rival or enemy kings. Sometimes these samantas grew very rich and powerful. They became the great lord of the region and were called Mahasamantas. They overthrew their overlords and became independent rulers or kings. Think of the Rashtrakutas who lived in the Deccan in the southern part of India. One Rashtrakuta chief, Danti Durga, fought with his Chalukya overlord and replaced him as the king. The overlords or kings of a region generally belonged to the Kshatriya caste. So, when subordinates or members of other castes became the king, they performed rituals like the Hirayana Garbha, which means the golden womb. These rituals marked their rebirth as Kshatriyas. Often Brahmanas like Kadamba Mayura Sharman and the Gurjara Pratihara Harichandra gave up their original or traditional professions and became Kshatriyas. The Kadamba Mayura Sharmans set up their kingdom in Karnataka, and the Gurjara Pratiharas built their empire in Rajasthan. These Brahmanas or Samantas thus became kings, not because they were born to royal families, but because of their talent and ambition. Once they became kings, they shared their power with their subordinates, who were the Samantas, the farmers, the traders, and the Brahmanas. The kings also collected revenue or rent from the producers or the peasants, cattle keepers, and artisans. These revenues or rent helped kings to maintain their establishments, to build temples and forts, and to fight wars. The revenue collectors were often members of the royal or powerful families. The kings, like the politicians or celebrities of today, had to build and maintain a public image of themselves. This image gained them popularity and respect. Let's have a look at this Prahasti. It was originally written in Sanskrit and had been found in Gwalior, Madhya Pradesh. It talks about the Pratihara king, Nagabhata. Such Prahastis praise the king for his bravery and for his achievements. Learned Brahmanas wrote these Prahastis, and kings often gave them lands as grants or gifts. These land grants were recorded or written on copper plates. These copper plates were held together by a ring which had the royal seal on it. Even in those days, there were critical voices besides the Prahastis, written to praise the king. Just as there are voices of dissent and protest today which oppose actions harmful for humanity. A poet named Kalhana in the 12th century wrote a long poem criticizing the kings who ruled over Kashmir. His poem was based on facts. He read a variety of sources like inscriptions, accounts of witnesses, and historical documents to write the poem. The ruling dynasties of the kings usually started from one region. They later expanded and included many regions. The city of Kannauj in the Ganga Valley was a very fertile place. So many kingdoms fought for this city. The long battle between the Gurjara Pratihara, the Rashtrakuta, and the Pala dynasties for the possession of Kannauj is known as the tripartite struggle. In those times, temples were a symbol of the king's wealth and power. Rulers like Sultan Mahmud of Ghazni thus built temples to display their wealth and power. They also raided or robbed wealthy temples of other kingdoms. Mahmud plundered the Gujarat and Somnath regions and built his wonderful capital city of Ghazni with the wealth. Sultan Mahmud was ambitious and greedy for power and wealth. He wanted to remain powerful and maintain his hold or control over the people of his empire. He also wanted to know the people of the country to rule them better. So, he appointed a scholar named Al-Biruni to write an account of the Indian subcontinent. Al-Biruni consulted other Sanskrit scholars to write this document in Arabic called Kitabul Hind. This is a valuable document for historians of today who can learn about Sultan Mahmud's rule. The Chamanas or the Chauhans of Delhi and Ajmer were also well-known rulers who expanded their empires through battles. The best-known Chamana ruler was Prithvi Raja III, who defeated the Afghan ruler Sultan Muhammad Ghori in 1191. However, Sultan Muhammad Ghori defeated Prithvi Raja III in another battle the following year. In our next video on this lesson, we'll talk about the rise of the Chola dynasty, their beautiful temples and bronze sculptures, the reason for their prosperity and their systems of administration. See you soon.